Okay, this video is just to answer a question. One of my students just asked me, hey, how can I automatically create a job in the SQL Server agent? And this job should have automatic backups, right? So you create automatic backups, and how can you do it? Using all these scripts, how can you do it? So I will show you two examples of how to do it. For example, I will first create my first job, but before I create my job, I have to execute some kind of SQL that I know for sure it's working, right? So what I'm going to do is first um, I will be creating some scripts that I know for a fact that it works, right? So for example, first I will create the table, and then let me get this kind of script here. Right. So first I will create my database, right? And then I will just use this database, right? And then I will create a table in this database, right? Right. So I will create a table in this database, and then I will just insert one data here in the table, right? Right. So now let's see if we can just insert one automatic insert. Remember, I have to write test the SQL Server statement that I'm going to be executed, right? So I will be executing these SQL Server statements here. And you can see here, first it did the initial and then full. Here you can see I just dynamically created the school name and dynamically create the school ID, right? And just executed, use, right? And then I just highlight the entire block here and then execute, right? And then if I want to execute this for line 45, I just execute this, okay? So once I test this statement here, I know for a fact that I want to put this inside my job, right? That my automatic job. So what I'm going to do is I have the job here. We'll be using the database, and I will just copy this entire thing here, and I will put it on the command here, okay? I will put it on the command here, right? And then I will just add some tabs here because I like how it looks. So I will add a new um, column here. I said, yeah, I don't remember how the names that, but this you should add one quote here, another quote there, another quote here, another quote there, another quote there, another quote here, right? So your command will look like this. And then uh, what I'm going to do is first I execute, I will be declaring the job ID, right? And then I will create the add job store procedure, right? It's important to know that we need to enable the job, and we have to say which is the owner, and we have to get the job ID using the output here. So it will be storing in this value once this executed. And then the second step will be adding one step, right? And then the execute set the job ID, the step name, step ID, right? Then I will just set here the command, and basically here I have to set which is going to be the database I'm going to be executing this against with, right? So remember, I create the database here on the top, test jobs, right? So I will just execute this from the very top, and then update the job, and then add the schedule, and then add the job server, right? I will just highlight all of it. So right now, this is being executed every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, because I say, hey, here is 10 and the interval is seconds, right? The subtype is 2, which is 10 seconds. So let's see if it's actually working, right? Go, you have to just set this and execute this. So every 10 seconds we can see it's actually inserting. So the job is actually working, right? So if you want to see the actual job that we already created, right, we should see refresh here and then click, double click, and then we can see the steps, double click. We can see the schedule here, double click, see the schedule here every 10 seconds, right? So that's fine, right? But we want to do automatic backups, right? So how we do automatic backups? Again, I will follow the same procedure. I will just click new and then paste my thing here. And then remember here on the backups, there is some tricky things that you have to remember. First, you are most of the time controlling the SQL Server from a remote machine. From a remote machine, when the execute of the backups, it's executing the backups, it will only store on the server. Right now I'm using a Linux server, Linux SQL Server, right? Right, you can see my Linux is this IP address that I have here, and it's Linux. So that you can, I don't know if you can see the Linux there, but that's why for my directory, I'm using this bar of MySQL data, right? So I dynamically assigning again the name of the backup here. And I remember I have to just change the table here, database master, and I will execute my first execute without a job, right? I will test, carefully testing my command here. So I will execute it 2 times. So how I can know for sure that it works? So remember, it was, because this is Linux, I will have this as a folder structure on the server, right? Remember, this is Linux. So the time was 1548. 1548, yes. So I will try to see if a database for the test job was successfully done. I will go to database, restore, and I should, if I go to bar opt, so I have to select here device and then click here in the dots and then add here. And then I can see here, this is bar and this is bar and then opt and then MySQL and then data. See here was 1548 and you can see 1548, right? So yeah, and I executed 2 times. So if I click here, I can click and then restore the database, right? Which is fine, kind of nice, right? But we want to do it automatically again. If I click again, it will restore the database, but we don't want to do that and verify the media is there. So we don't want to do that right now. We want to actually create a job, right? So I will copy this entire thing here. And again, I will take this command that I already have here. I will share in the description of the video. And I will just paste it in here. Again, we will follow the same procedure. We will add the quote here, quote here, quote here, quote, 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 and that's it, right? So remember here we are using the same the same schedule, right? We are doing the backup every 10 seconds. So if you want to do it on your own, you can feel free to update these scripts to so it fills your needs, right? And then I will just do this entire thing again. So remember, every 10 seconds, I'm gonna be doing the backup. So it execute correctly. And then if I just refresh here, I have two backups. Backup weekly, which I can see, double click, steps, right? I have this against this database. I can select the master if I want, because honestly, and if I want to see the schedule, you see it's every second, see the same schedule, every 10 seconds. And then I will just right click and view history. Right now, this one is being executed like 3 times. And how I know, so again, I will click right on the database and then restore database here. And then from device, and I should see several, you see? If I execute, if I refresh, a new backup is being created every 10 seconds. All right, you can see here the backup was created. Great. And basically that's how we create a job automatically from the these SQL statements, right? SQL statement. But wait a minute. I usually don't remember all of this code. I usually don't remember, right? So how I can know how to create this? So again, you can usually use the wizard to give you the hint of how to do it. So if you just double click, let's say this inserting table here, you click here and you say here script, right? Script, what's set? Okay. So if you wanna get the script to create this, it was wrong. So we just script job as create and a new view, and there you go. There you go. This script will create this thing here. We'll select first create the category, then create the job, and then you can copy and paste and use this code as you wish. Again, here, if I want to do the backlog week, I'll just create a script job as create to new query windows. And again, it will give me all the details how to execute. And if I execute this, it should give me an error because it already exists. Oh, well, you see, it already exists, right? Again, this is a very handy tool that we can do with SQL Server, that every time you can get this script job as create. Same if you have, let's say, the database, you can get the same create as, for example, this database, you want to add task and generate the scripts here. And then you can generate the script, how to create the database and how to create the tables inside. For example, if I click here on the table, I just script as create, and it will give me the script to create a table. And then you just copy and paste it and use it as you wish. Basically, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching the video.